Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome everyone. On behalf of the Organization for Islamic Learning, I'm very pleased to present to you the second part of a series on pandemic fatigue. If you missed out on the first part of this series with Mubina Jaffer, then please do visit our YouTube channel as it is viewable there. Mubina spoke about creating a positive mindset and provided us with some great techniques in coping with the tiredness that we're feeling due to the current situation that we're in. So if you did miss it, then please do listen to it, as she was truly amazing. Let me now briefly introduce you to our organization. The Organization for Islamic Learning, or OIL as most of us know it as, is a charitable, non-profit, community-based group that strives to build a membership whose main goal is to understand and practice the essence of Islam in an inclusive environment. We promote learning activities based on the teachings of the Quran and the values of its prophet and his family. We hold and we participate in lectures, seminars, workshops, and retreats in hopes to enhance the spiritual growth of our members. Now, the purpose of this two-part pandemic fatigue series is for us to learn a variety of ways to cope with that negative emotions that is conjuring up within us because of the pandemic. Once again, in Toronto, or in Ontario, should I say, we are in lockdown. And since March 2020, we have either been in lockdown or have had some form of restrictions being imposed upon us, which has resulted in us not being able to meet our friends, family, and community members as freely as we used to do. However, on the positive note, life didn't come to a total standstill, as the pandemic made us learn to utilize a variety of platforms to enable us to continue to communicate with the outside world. In addition, the exciting news is that there is light at the end of the tunnel because we have a vaccination program in place. But it is still a long and a slow journey, and we really don't know when life will resume to the norm that we knew it prior to the pandemic. Okay, so to begin with, let me provide you with an outline of what to expect today and also go over some housekeeping items. We will begin with our session with some Quran recitation, followed by a presentation by our guest speaker, Kaniz Amir. And then after a talk, she's going to move us into a meditation session. And for this, she has said that we can stay where we are because we'll still get the full effects of the meditation. Following this, we're going to have a question and answer session. So please do ask questions, and we do encourage you to ask questions. To pose a question, you'll need to go to a website, and the website you will need to go to is menti.com. I'm going to give you a moment because you'll need to grab a pen or paper or go into menti.com because there's a code that I will need to give you. Those of you who have joined us via Zoom, you could use the chat tab or you could go to menti.com. That's entirely up to you. So it's menti, MENTI.com, and the code that you will need is 13861662. I'll repeat, the code is 13861662. Over there, Talib Kizilbash will be collating your questions and he will put them forward to our guest speaker at the end of her presentation. Right, without further ado, we will now listen to some verses from the Quran by two lovely young ladies, Samara Rizvi and Hannah Jiwan. Samara, Hannah?
We begin with the name of Allah, the most kind, the most merciful. So mindfulness and meditation are two words that we've been hearing a lot lately, especially during the ongoing pandemic. So we decided to take a closer look into what Islam says about meditation.
As it turns out, there are numerous ayats in the Quran that talk about the importance of meditation in Islam. Here are the ayats we chose to share with you today.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها المزمل قم الليل إلا قليلا نصفه أو انقص منه قليلا أو زد عليه ورتل القرآن ترتيلا إنا سنلقي عليك قولا ثقيلا إن ناشية الليل هي أشد وطئا وأقوم قيلا إنا لك في النهار سبحا طويلا اسم ربك وتبتل إليه تبتيلا رب المشرق والمغرب لا إله إلا هو فاتخذه وكيلا.
O you cloaked one, meditate during the night except rarely, half of it or a little less, or a little more, and read the Quran from cover to cover. We will give you a heavy message. Meditation at night is more effective and more righteous. You have a lot of time during the day for other matters. Always remember the name of your Lord and devote yourself to him wholeheartedly. He is the Lord of the East and the West. There is no God worthy of worship except him, so believe in him alone.
Wow. Thank you, Samara and Hannah. That was so beautifully recited. Let me now introduce you to our guest speaker, Kaniz Amir. Kaniz is a passionate and an inspirational leader whose goal is to help people find their true meaning and purpose in life. She strongly believes that everyone has a unique divine potential that is a gift and a blessing to this world. Kaniz is an empowerment and self-awareness coach and also a meditation facilitator. Her belief is that when we live with self-awareness, we can consciously work through the self-limiting layers that we have built within us from our past experiences. With that understanding of self-awareness, we can begin to experience an inner world of unconditional love and endless support, which will guide us to awaken to our divine purpose. Kaniz practices meditation regularly and has found so much peace, clarity, and wisdom through this. She also creates guided meditations that help you feel amazing, empowered, and more connected to God. Kaniz?
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for having me here. It's really an honor to be a part of this event today and to be the guest speaker here. So I'm going to be, and thank you so much, Nurul Ain, for the introduction. I'm going to be speaking to you about meditation today and self-awareness. So I'm just going to share my screen. Yeah, so I'm going to be speaking to you about meditation and the relationship that meditation has to self-awareness. So meditation teaches us to be mindful and teaches us to be conscious during our days to get to really know ourselves better. And the word meditation means to become familiar with yourself. And that means when you close your eyes and, so when you close your eyes, you're shutting down all stimuli from your external environment. So you're not paying any more attention to everything that you're seeing, like all your senses, the external environment, meaning all the people in your life, all the things in your life, and all the experiences and circumstances that you're in. You're not paying attention to that anymore when you close your eyes. Now you're drawing attention inwards towards your inner world, because you have an inner world and an outer world. And your inner world is all about the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. And this is what creates your state of being. And it's our state of being that creates our personality. And our personality is what creates our life, our experiences that we have. So meditation really allows you to go inwards and to pay attention to the way that you're thinking and you're feeling and your state of being. Meditation also strengthens your immune system. There's so much more information out there online on meditation and, all the benefits of meditation. There's a lot of information. It can really calm you down. It can calm your brain waves down. So the best time to meditate is in the morning and at night. So meditation calms your brain waves down. And what I mean by that is most of us live in survival mode. We get really caught up in our external environment. So we live in, when the situation outside of us is stressful, that has an effect on us, because then we become really stressed and we, feel a lot of anxiety. But what meditation does is it changes your brain waves. So when you're experiencing a lot of stress and anxiety, what starts to happen is your brain waves are in high beta. And when you shut down, like when you close your eyes and you shut off all stimuli from your external environment, what begins to happen is your brain waves go from high beta and eventually go down to theta waves. And this means like the brain waves are very, very calm. So just doing that on a regular basis is really going to help you feel a lot more calmer. And it also helps you to feel like you're able to cope. You're able to have some sort of control over your emotions so that you're not fully immersed in what's happening outside of you. Because when we give a lot of our control to what is happening outside of us, then some days can be really stressful depending on what the external situation is. And some days can be less stressful, but everything is very much dependent on what's happening outside of us. So meditation also really improves your attention and your focus. And with that, you become more self-aware of your habits and behaviors. So once again, because the word meditation itself, it means to become familiar with yourself. So when you close your eyes, you are paying attention inwards. You're paying attention to the way you're feeling. You're paying attention to what your thoughts are. So the idea with meditation is not to shut down your thoughts, because your thoughts are always going to be there, but it's to become, and it's neither is it to fight your thoughts, because the more you fight your thoughts, you go into this entire this resistance energy, where you're battling, you're struggling with your thoughts. So you need to let go of that struggle of trying to shut down your thoughts. And in turn, you need to, become aware of your thoughts. So start watching your thoughts. Start watching how you're feeling, tune into your body to see how you're really feeling. And when you're able to do this, now you're the observer of your thoughts and your emotions. And once you're able to be the observer, this really says a lot, because when you're the observer of your thoughts and emotions, that means that you're no longer attached to your thoughts and emotions. A lot of the times we live through life, thinking this is just who I am. My mother was like this. I'm like that. This is just the way I am naturally. Well, when we start to think like that, then there's a lot, then it almost means like we've limited ourselves, and we're saying that, because I've always been this anxious person, that means I'm always going to be an anxious person, right? That's very limiting. When in turn, you can change the way you feel. You can change those thoughts that create so much anxiety within you. And the way to do it is to start becoming the observer of when do you feel, anxiety? When do you experience these high levels of stress in your life? Become so mindful of these thoughts that you have. So this is how, so it's in meditation that we become more self-aware of our habits, and we become more self-aware of our behaviors. And the idea here of becoming so familiar with ourselves is to go from the old self into the new self, because you want to create change within you. And in order to create change, you need to know what you need to change about yourself. So this is essentially how meditation can really, really help you, because your life doesn't change until you change yourself. So to meditate is to really know yourself, and to know yourself is to know God, because God is within you, and he's closer to you than your own jugular vein. So the subconscious mind, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the subconscious mind. And I know that last week, Mubina probably really spoke about this, but I'm just going to speak about it a little bit here, just for you to understand the connection on how the subconscious mind comes in when you're meditating. So first of all, 95% of who you are is a set of behaviors, thoughts, and feelings, right? That you have experienced from your past. So if you went through an experience that was very traumatic, that experience created an emotional impact on you. That emotion sits in your subconscious mind, and it doesn't go anywhere until you acknowledge that emotion and you allow it to leave. But it needs your awareness. See, no change can happen until you bring it into the light of self-awareness, until you consciously change it. So the subconscious mind then is an artifact of your past reality. Everything that you have felt in the past, thought of in the past, all your beliefs come from your past experiences, or the things that you've heard from your parents, or what society has experienced. All of that create a set of a program for you, because this becomes part of your own experience. So when we behave, think, and feel in the same way enough times, they become a habit. Okay. And when we formulate habits, they become second nature, and we act out of our habits very unconsciously. So then 95% of the time, if you're walking around doing exactly what you've always done, or you're thinking in the same way that you've always thought about in the past, and you're feeling the same thoughts over and over again, then they're really hardwired in your subconscious. Now, the only way to change this subconscious program is to become aware of what lies in your subconscious mind. So meditation allows you to open the door to the subconscious mind so that you can actually get into the operating system. And now you can actually reprogram the subconscious mind to thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that you actually want to experience, so that you're not just limiting yourself to a program from the past, right? Because when we're programmed to be a certain way, we lose our free will, and free will is a God-given gift. And we're not able to use it if we're always doing the same things over and over again. We're always being the same way over and over again. That means we've really gone so unconscious on who we really are that we don't have a choice anymore. We don't even use our free will to make a choice on, how do I really want to feel? How do I really want to think? Who do I want to become in my future, right? So the good news is that the subconscious mind can be rewired. And now when you're meditating, what you're doing is you're going into your subconscious mind, and you're now consciously choosing how you actually want to feel. So this is the field of energy. So we have a field of energy around us. And as you can see here, this is the disrupted energy field. So what this shows is when you're living by hormones of stress and you're living in survival, your energy field it shrinks, and it becomes very incoherent. There's really no order to it. And that's because you're living out of survival emotions, and life is not meant to be lived like that. Because you see, when you live out of survival, then you really can't unlock your true superhuman potential that you have within you. So you really want to be able to operate in a balanced energy field. This is when you are living more as your energy self, your energetic self, because you're a spiritual being having a spiritual experience here on the planet in a human body. That's what this journey really is all about. We forget the spiritual aspect, and we think we're more human than we're actually spiritual, but we're spiritual beings in this human body. So then meditation is what brings you back into alignment. It brings you back into balance. So how do we break the habit of being you? Well, you start by getting to know and observe. In meditation, you start to observe how you're feeling. You start to observe if you're having any pain within you. Are you feeling any emotions of discomfort? Are you feeling high levels of anxiety and stress? Once you've identified this, then you can start recreating yourself by breaking the habit of being you. If you have always lived as this person who's just, always in, in survival mode, then you want to start making different choices. Because if you keep living as your past old self, you're going to keep recreating the same experiences over and over again, right? Your environment may look very different. The people that you're interacting with will be different, but the way you're thinking and feeling will always be the same. It's until and unless you break the habit of being yourself and you start recreating the new self. You start using your free will. Now, the first thing you want to do is, meditation already teaches you this. It's teaching you to detach from your outer reality by strengthening your inner reality, by really getting to know yourself. And now when you're getting to know yourself, you're watching the way you're thinking, you're watching the way you're feeling, you're connecting with yourself, because we're so much more aware of how everybody else in our environment is feeling, or we're so much more aware of how other people are behaving in our environment, but we're not very aware of how we're really feeling, or we haven't really given it much importance. So then you want to strengthen this inner reality and create this relationship with yourself, a relationship that is full of love. You know, you want to love yourself. You want to be the observer of the way you're thinking and feeling from a space of compassion. So you shift, you know, yourself from living as the victim in your life to the creator in your life. So what I mean by this is we're a lot of us are living as the victim in our life. And what does that really mean? That means everything in our outer reality is causing me to react in a certain way. You know, today I show up happy because everybody around me is happy, so I'm going to be happy. Tomorrow I'm going to be really mad because, you know, I'll show up really angry and upset because something triggers me in my external reality. This is how we live as a victim in your life. And you and everybody, I'm sure, who's listening to this has had this experience in their lives, because they always feel like they have to kind of walk on eggshells in their life. Like they don't want to like let go of that good feeling that they're feeling at the moment, right? That in the present moment, if you're feeling really good, it's almost like you're afraid that you're going to let go of that good feeling, or something's going to happen and it's going to ruin that good feeling. Well, once you start practicing meditation and you start creating and strengthening your inner reality, you will have a lot more control in how you're feeling and how you're thinking. And so much of it is going to be less about what's happening in your external environment. And you're going to start creating, and you're going to start feeling inner joy. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this soon, but also what I want to explain is who the creator in your life is. You want to be the co-creator in your life. God has given you free will to create your life. God is always in control. He's always in the driver's seat, but he's given you choices that you can make. So, you know, there's a surah in the Quran, and the verse says, but every time, in every difficulty, there is also ease. So God is trying to show us that there are always choices available to us. You know, there's difficulty, but with that difficulty, there's also ease on the other side. It's really where you want to place your attention. Do you want to place your attention on the difficulty, or do you want to place your attention on the ease? And really, it's all about where you place your attention is where all your energy goes. It dictates how you feel, how you respond, how you're thinking. It's all about where you choose to pay attention and to put your focus. So if you were to be the creator of your life, then how about putting your attention and your focus on who you want to become in your life, how you want to feel as your future self? You know, what do you see possible for yourself? And so we're using conscious awareness here to activate the free will in every moment. So the past few slides, we've been talking about, you know, rewiring your brain and becoming really conscious and aware of the way you're thinking and feeling and behaving. And this is the way that when you bring it into your conscious awareness, so you're bringing the unconscious into your conscious awareness, and this is how you begin to become the new self. So now the heart. Okay, so the heart is a sacred space, right? The heart is where God lives. He lives in the seat of our soul. He is closer to us than our vagus nerve. It's in the heart that we experience elevated emotions of love and gratitude and joy, peace, all of these emotions. And we can feel, if we truly connect with meditation, we're drawing attention inwards. And if God is within me, we're really drawing attention towards God. And we're really developing this loving relationship with God, that He's always there to want the best for me, that God is always there to want everything to work out for me for my highest good, that God is not there to create pain and suffering in my life, and that He is fully supporting me, everything that I do, and that I am always held in infinite abundance, and I am loved unconditionally. A lot of us are really hardwired to believe that God loves me only if I do something that will make Him happy. God loves me at all times. He loves me unconditionally. And, one of the things that I've really realized on my journey of self-development is that I'm never alone. I'm always supported. I'm always loved. A lot of the times we forget this because we think that we're in control of everything, that we have to do everything alone, and that we have to deal with all the pain and suffering or all the stress and that we're going through, or the anxieties that we're experiencing, that we have to do it alone. And it can feel really lonely when you come to that state. But if you can, through meditation, when you close your eyes, and if you can just feel God's presence within you, feel the Creator within you, the one who's given you life, start to feel that gratitude for, everything that He's blessed you with. You see, we can say, I'm so grateful for everything I have, or I feel so good. I feel so good. You can think like that. But until you don't feel it, you don't really truly experience gratitude and truly experience joy, because the heart feels every single emotion that you experience. The heart is a self-rhythmic organ. It feels every experience, and it has an effect on your heartbeat. So feelings are the language of the body. And the mind, it doesn't know it doesn't know the difference between what you're actually thinking and what you're actually experiencing. So you can be thinking about a traumatic event that you went through, a short while ago, and just that thought can create this sense of anxiety within you. Just with that thought, you can feel like, your heartbeat is getting really rapid, and you can, begin to feel all of these emotions from just the thought alone. That means when you're meditating, you can now rewire and think new thoughts that you actually want to experience. And when you can come to that space, you're actually allowing yourself to go above any limitations, because you're now saying that I'm not limited by who I think I am because of my past experiences. I'm actually open to tapping into my, true human potential. I'm open to creating new experiences in my life. And meditation can really teach you this, because now you're mentally rehearsing how you want to think, what you want to think about. So you start thinking about who you want to become, and that can be really exciting when you can actually allow yourself to think about who you truly want to become in your life. What do you truly want to experience? This is how we can really use the power of self-awareness to create what we want to feel. and what we want to think. Because we always think that life is always just happening to us. You know, suddenly this gets thrown at me and now I have to experience this. Or this happens in my life and now I'm led down this way. But how about empowering yourself and knowing that life is always responding to you based on how you choose to think and how you choose to feel? What happens is the heart actually closes, when we go through painful experiences in life. Like, the heart is so sacred. And the more, if we can just open the heart by feeling love, feeling true gratitude and joy and peace, we're going to have such a beautiful experience here on the planet. But what happens is, because of the past experiences, we go through pain, we get a wound in the heart, and the heart closes. And by that I mean is that we close the heart off because we want to try and protect ourselves. So when we close the heart, we're less loving to our own selves, and we're also less compassionate to others because you're afraid to get hurt. And the heart can close, can begin closing from as early as, when you're in your childhood. Like a child, wants to spend time with his or her parents. And for example, and their parents, have a lot of work to do and they can't be with the child at that time. The child feels neglected, so that the heart closes. There's a wound in the heart and the heart closes. The child doesn't get invited to a birthday party. The heart closes, the child gets hurt. And this is how our heart begins to close. And by the time we become an adult, a lot of us are walking around with a closed heart. So we want to set the intention to open the heart so we can truly feel love and joy and gratitude. And just that feeling can be so empowering and so enriching, not just for our mental health, but it can actually change our biological, our body, our physical body. It can have a biological impact on us. And so when you have an open heart, can you think greater than you feel? Can you think greater than an experience that you're currently having right now? Are you able to go beyond what you experience with your senses in the 3D reality? So in the beginning, I talked about how the outer world dictates how we're thinking and feeling, right? Now, what if what you're thinking and feeling starts to become an inside job? Like it's now based on your inner reality more than your external reality. Now you're consciously cultivating higher heart-centered emotions within you, right? So are you able to go beyond the senses, go beyond what you're experiencing on the outer world, and still feel at peace and still feel gratitude no matter what is happening in your external world? Are you able to stay in this space where you're in control, where you are now mastering yourself and you're choosing how you want to think and feel? You're choosing that no matter what happens in my external reality, I am choosing to feel love. I am choosing to feel gratitude at every moment. So I'm going to come to the pandemic circumstance as well. I just want you to keep that in mind for now, is that can you go beyond the senses in the three-dimensional reality? Can you believe that life, can you live life as if everything is working out in your favor? So you can see the slide of the little quote I have by Rumi over here, where he says, living life as though everything is rigged in your favor. It's working out for you. Even though you're not seeing it in your external reality, but you're holding that belief so strongly within you that everything is going to be just fine. and that you're always supported and you're always loved no matter what. Because it's that free will that creates what we're going to experience next. It's always the free will that is going to determine our experiences. It's always going to determine our reality as well, because in the 3D reality, all sorts of things will happen, but where do we choose to put our attention? Albert Einstein, he said something that, one of the most important things that you will ask yourself is, do you believe in a friendly universe or do you believe in a hostile universe? So even with the pandemic right now, we actually have a choice, to, go to actually think greater than the current situation. Where do we want to put our attention right now? Because wherever we put our attention, we'll place our energy right there. And that is what we can do when we meditate. We can actually take back that control and say, I have a choice on how I want to feel, on how I want to think. So Imam Ali's quote, I just wanted to include that here because this has always really piqued my interest and has really made me think that we're really greater than what we see ourselves as. Because, he says your sickness is from you, but you do not perceive it, and your remedy is within you, but you do not sense it. You presume you're a small entity, but within you is enfolded the entire universe, and you're indeed the evident book by whose alphabets the hidden becomes manifest, and therefore you have no need to look beyond yourself. What you seek is within you, if only you reflect. So even Imam Ali, right, he's talking about the inner world. If you can connect to your inner world and really feel that connection to God, you see, meditation can really help you have a better experience, even when you're praying, when you're reciting, your du'as, or when you're doing your supplications. You become a lot more mindful. When you're sitting down and you close your eyes, you can, and you can do this. If you've never meditated before, you can do this and start off by doing it for 5 to 7 minutes in your day, but make it a consistent practice where you're sitting down, closing your eyes for 5 to 7 minutes, listening to either a guided meditation. And that means like like someone's speaking throughout the meditation. I personally find those more enjoyable because I like to be listening to something that's guiding me throughout the experience. Or you can sit in complete silence and just close your eyes. That experience of just closing your eyes and then just sort of connecting with yourself, telling yourself, that I love you. I honor myself. I love myself. And then really honoring every emotion that you're feeling and not judging yourself for the emotions that you're feeling, but really being compassionate with yourself. So cultivating this loving relationship with yourself and getting to know who you are. You see, once you open your eyes after those 7 minutes of meditation, you then continue that state of being throughout the day. You continue to stay conscious. Most of the time, what happens is we go unconscious, right, to the way we're thinking and feeling. But can you practice to stay conscious of what you're doing, how you're speaking, how you're showing up, how you're responding to a certain situation? It gets you to become very mindful in your life so that you can always make conscious choices on everything that you experience throughout your day. You have a choice on how to respond to somebody. You have a choice on whether to go unconscious, or you have a choice to, so if you've always been programmed to go unconscious and immediately feel stressed out, if something is not working for you, that's when you start taking your power back. Because now when you're self-aware, you're like, oh, hold on a second, I actually have a choice here. You know, I'm going to stay conscious here. I'm going to stay in the present moment and not give my power away to the old self that usually gets stressed out. But I'm actually gonna, become so aware, and I'm gonna ask for help, because I know I'm always, always supported, and I'm always loved, and I'm never really alone. So I can actually tune in and ask for help. So now, during the pandemic, with the new lockdown right now, there's a lot of like uncertainties, right? It's like, you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know how long this is going to go on for. You don't know how it's going to impact everything. People getting sick, people missing, seeing their families, all of that stuff. This is all outside of you. This is all happening in your external world, which you don't really have control over, but you have control over your internal world and how you choose to see this new lockdown, or how you choose to think and feel during the pandemic. So as you're doing your meditation in the morning or at night, you can mentally rehearse how you want to feel during the day. I want to feel at peace. I want to feel calm. You see, everything outside of you has there's a lockdown, but there's so many things that aren't canceled. Love isn't canceled. Dreaming about your future isn't canceled, right? Self-care isn't canceled. Having fun isn't canceled. You can always find new ways of being. You can always find that, you can feel in a new way. You can ask for help. You can connect with yourself from within and start to feel God's love within you. You can start to feel God's support. And once you start to feel this way, your heart begins to open. And when your heart begins to open, now you're no longer going right into, because that's what the mind does. It takes you right into the worst case scenarios. As soon as something goes wrong in your life, you're like, oh my God, you immediately go to the worst case thing that could happen. How about you start to think of and believe in the best case scenarios? How about you believe that things are going to be for the best, or they're going to work out? And you have the free will to consciously choose how you want to think and feel. So I hope that this was helpful to you. And I really hope that you enjoy the meditation experience. This is the meditation, Al-Fatah, that we're going to be doing today. And Al-Fatah is one of the divine healing names of God. It means the opener and the one who reveals. So we're going to set an intention and to ask God to open our hearts. More meditations can be found at this website, which I'll also post over here. So I'm just going to now take you through the meditation. So I'd like you to just make yourself really, really comfortable. Wherever you are, you can stay seated, and just want you to enjoy this meditation. You don't have to think, oh my God, I have to do it right, or I have to do it a certain way. Just be in the moment, just enjoy it, relax, find it something relaxing to do. Take this opportunity to really come into that space of calmness. All right. So I'm just going to put on some meditation tune. And, your thoughts are going to keep coming in and out, and that's okay. Just gently, acknowledge that your thoughts are there. Don't try to fight them, and just come back to my voice, and I'm going to guide you through this meditation. So I'm going to be speaking throughout the meditation, and you just have to kind of follow along as to what I'm telling you to do. So I'm going to begin with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I begin in the name of God, the most merciful, the most kind, and the most compassionate. You may now close your eyes and just relax your body. And bring your attention, bring your focus onto your breath. So as you're inhaling through your nose, just become aware of how far down your breath goes into your body. Become aware. And as you exhale through your mouth, notice how that feels in your body. How does your breath feel? So take a deep inhalation and exhale. And begin to feel your body relax. Feel your legs relax, your arms, your hands, your shoulders, your back, and feel your neck relax. And just feel so much love all around you. Feel it within you. And the intention for this meditation practice is to connect with God and to fill our hearts with the elevated emotions of gratitude, of calmness, love, joy. So come back to your breath. And now with each inhalation, envision yourself taking in divine light. And imagine this light circulating within your body through each cell, each molecule in your body, the tissues, the organs, and all the systems of your body. And follow this divine light with your awareness. For wherever you place your attention is where the energy flows. So feel this healing, divine, powerful light running through your veins and illuminating your entire being. Feel it transforming your state from matter to divine light. It's elevating you to your unlimited potential. It's giving you life. It is only when you awaken to your truth that you are truly alive. You're conscious. So feel life in your body. Feel it. And follow your heart. Your heart wants to feel this divine light within you. So open up to it. Allow it to lift you towards who you truly are. Transform and ascend into your highest, most aligned potential. Imagine this shimmering light within you. It's there to support you. So stay present with it and allow yourself to be open. Allow yourself to be open to receive. Receive all this divine love that is always accessible and always within you. Now you may place your hand on your creative heart, your beautiful heart that is blooming with divine love, your vital heart that feels the fullness of God, the presence of the Absolute. Feel the divine healing name, Al-Fatah, in your heart. For Al-Fatah means the opener of your heart. The one who reveals the truth to you, the truth of who you truly are, the truth of who you are beyond your senses, beyond the physical reality. That which is unseen with the human eye, but is only seen and felt with the eye of the heart. Al-Fatah, feel your heart expanding with this divine attribute. And keep your awareness on your beautiful heart, your heart that gives you life. What an honor it is to live and to allow for your body to truly feel this gratitude for life. Allow for yourself to feel it. Feel the blessings in your life. Feel, breathe that you are alive and conscious. Breathe life into your heart because you can. Al-Fatah, God is the one who opens the heart to your inner truth, and God is the one who lets your inner knowledge flow through you. Al-Fatah, the one who lifts the veils and enables us to see what is essential in all things. For it is Al-Fatah that brings clarity to the mind, the heart, and it opens the way. So stay with your breath. Envision your heart expanding and spreading light within you, all around you. Stay with that beautiful light, the light of hope, the light of greatness, of compassion, and the light to your inner power. So open yourself to Al-Fatah and feel how solutions are always revealed to you through God's kindness and mercy. God is the one who reveals. God is the one who opens that which has become hard and closed and contracted. Al-Fatah, feel this beautiful divine name in your heart. Feel its light illuminate your heart. It is the expression of continuous enlightenment within you. For Al-Fatah is the key that opens the heart to God. And this is when you find God within you. Al-Fatah enables you to go deeper and deeper into the universe within and into this opening so that you may truly understand who we are in our divine essence. So feel this beautiful divine name restoring your body back into balance, restoring all the cells in your body. Al-Fatah. You open the truth in our souls and you open to us the gates of kindness. You open for us our own entanglements and you lighten our burden. God, you open to us knowledge and inner vision so that we may see our own abilities, our abilities to make better choices from a space of conscious awareness. Dear God, open us up to the love of you. And keep focusing on your breath. Bring your attention back into your body, back into your environment. And notice, how has your energy shifted? How are you feeling? How do the sensations in your body feel? For you have ascended in your consciousness. You have become present with the light within you. And this is where you want to place your attention. And this is wherever you place your attention is where your energy flows. And the light of God is the lamp to your unlimited potential. For you have magic within you. And the entire universe is enfolded within you. And we ask God to show us more of this magic within us and to truly open up to our inner power so that we can master ourselves independent of our environment. And we can always choose how we want to think and feel. And with that, you may gently open your eyes. And with that, I want to thank you for listening, for taking the time out of your day to listen and to meditate with me. And you can stay in touch through any of these mediums here.
Thank you, Kaniz, for the very informative session. And I know we'll be incorporating some, if not all, of your tips in improving our mindset and our heart. Also, thank you for the meditation session, which I found immensely helpful and spiritually uplifting. And I'm sure our audience felt the same. I'm now going to pass you on to Talib Kisselbash for question and answer session. Talib?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, Kaniz. Thank you very much for a very thoughtful and well, a presentation that was very clear. I think, speaking for myself, someone who had lots of questions, I found that your explanations actually just answered a lot of them.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go to the first question that we've received from our viewers, our attendees.
Mhm.
And the first one is, what is the difference between the heart and the subconscious?
Okay, so the subconscious is part of your mind. The heart is it's part of your brain, right? Because it's you have the conscious mind and you have the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is like an artifact of everything that you've experienced in your life. It's the language of the brain. It's whatever you have thought from your past experiences. And your heart is it's separate. It's the seat of your soul. So it's actually when your heart is something that you can actually tune into and hear inner guidance and inner wisdom, whereas the subconscious mind it's programmed according to the way you've lived your life.
Excellent. Thank you. The next question is, are there ways to stop invasive thoughts when meditating, especially since we're taught as Muslims that when you are trying to meditate, especially when praying, that the devil will try and influence you?
Yeah, so, it's really a practice. There is no such thing as a great meditation. There are some, and I think the more you do it, the better you get at it. And that's with everything, right? So, you start off meditating and, if you're not fighting those thoughts, then you'll start to notice that it's not really a struggle because you're allowing those thoughts to be there. But now you are consciously choosing to think in a different way. So you're choosing how you want to think. If you're actually mentally rehearsing something that you want to think about rather than a thought that's just constantly playing. You can, when you engage with the thought, then yes, you're giving it your attention. Now you're like, you're allowing it to be a struggle. You're allowing it to be invasive. But if you take your attention off of it and you just become the observer of the thought, then it'll be a different experience. And when you can come from that space of mindfulness, as the more you meditate, your brain waves will start to change. You will be able to start, you will find stillness. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, you will find stillness the more you meditate. I remember from my own experiences, when I first started to meditate, I could hardly focus for even 2 minutes. My brain was there was such a mental chatter going on, but I kept going. I kept doing it. I disciplined myself to do it every day, even for just a few minutes. And I started to notice that I actually was able to overcome. I was able to find that space of stillness, even if it was just for a minute, but it was there. And that gave me hope that I can actually, I can find it, and it gets better. I hope that answers your question. Sorry, you're on mute.
Thank you, guys. That was a good question. The next question, a good answer, sorry. The next question from one of our attendees is, what is your opinion on Salat as a form of meditation?
Absolutely. So again, meditation is to help you throughout your day in everything that you're doing, whether that's your prayers, how, you're showing up in your life. And especially in your prayers, for sure, because now you're actually mindful of who, connecting to God. You're mindful of what you're saying. You're mindful of every posture in Salat. So I think it really enhances your experience in Salat, because you can actually come into this consciousness. Now you're not just doing it as a ritual, and your body's not just programmed to do it, because that's what you do and that's how you always pray. And because the body knows, you see, when you wake up in the morning, your body knows that you need to go turn on the kettle. Your body knows to go brush your teeth. Like, it knows your morning routine really, really well, because your body's been programmed. It's been conditioned to do this. So with the same thing with prayers, a lot of the times we pray, but we're not really consciously aware of what we're doing. So yes, it definitely brings you into a more mindful practice.
Excellent, thank you. I don't think we might have time for a couple more questions. So let's make this the second last one. Is meditation a route to practical reinvention of ourselves or spiritual enlightenment?
So I actually I don't really separate the two, because we're spiritual beings having this human experience. We're in a human body, but we're actually spiritual beings. And so when you're using meditation to reinvent yourself, yes, for sure, because now you're consciously changing yourself. You're consciously choosing to have a different experience by creating a new state of being. And as you do this, you're doing it with the help of your inner world, your inner reality. And your inner reality is God. It's God helping you create this new reality. When you say yes, you have to say, yes, God, I'm choosing this free will to reinvent. This is what I intend to become. This is who I intend to become. And it's the inner world that really empowers you to make it possible, to really manifest it into your three-dimensional reality. Because you see, when you start to reinvent yourself, you're actually lessening the gap between who you truly are and who you're showing up as. Because we always have these different masks that we put on when we're showing up. We're a different person on the outside than we really are on the inside. So we want to close that gap and really become more authentic. And as we're reinventing ourselves, we're now doing it from a space of choice rather than something that we unconsciously did in the past. We're doing it out of choice. That means we're coming from a space of authenticity.
Excellent answer, thank you.
Thank you.
This is going to be our final question from our attendees. The person writes, thanks for sharing your knowledge. It was beautiful. Please speak about how meditation can guide those who are depressed in various ways.
So the beautiful thing about meditation is that it really allows you to get to know how you're feeling and thinking. And as you become the observer, you start to see how you're thinking, how you're feeling from a very compassionate standpoint. You become very loving towards yourself. So you're not judging yourself as to, okay, I'm going through this depression and why is this happening to me? And you're not like hard on yourself, and you're not, you don't want to create this environment of stress within you. You simply want to start to notice that you're feeling this way. Now the thing is, this is where it gets uncomfortable. A lot of the times we don't want to acknowledge how we're feeling. A lot of the times we just suppress a lot of things. But when we actually are able to feel it and to feel where is this depression coming from? Where is it what is the root cause of this depression? What events in my life have led me to feel this way? And when you can start identifying these things and start building a lot of self-awareness around where this emotion is coming from, where the state of being is showing up from, you're actually healing yourself, because all you really need to do is to be able to feel it in order to heal. You need to just be able to acknowledge that this is the way you're feeling. And now you're rewiring. As soon as you've been able to acknowledge it, now you actually have the ability to rewire your subconscious mind. You have the ability to reinvent how you want to feel. And you start to rehearse this and to make this a new state of being within you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And thank you for all the questions. That's it for the questions for today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And before we say goodbye, let me tell you a little bit about our upcoming event, which will be in Ramadan, where Marzia Hassan will be presenting in the latter half of Ramadan a few sessions about the science and spirituality of developing patience. So please do tune in for that, because it's going to be really interesting. Thank you everyone for attending. We will now end this session with reciting Surah Al-Fatiha for our beloved family members who have left us and all the people who are no longer with us. Al-Fatiha.